Well, wow. Okay. Well, welcome back, everyone. It's the Interstellar podcast. But what's this? I got Sebastian here, and
Oh,
we're not talking about a fast movie today. Well, sort of. It's a leeway into Hobbs and Shaw, but not quite as good. We'll say not even remotely.
or as fun, or as anything quality wise.
Yes, me and Seb today are going to talk about the toothache of a movie, The Tooth Fairy.
Oh,
And
the
see if
first
it's
tooth
better than the
punch.
puns in these movies.
The
It's better
tooth
than the
punch.
puns in this movie.
Oh my god. Tooth punch in this movie.
Oh,
From the
let's
get
just get
go already.
let's just get into this, man, because we get the weirdest CGI. Okay, first of all, okay, this movie follows. I guess The Rock's name is Derek,
Oh
as a
yeah.
player who's all like, "Oh, I'm suave and I'm cool, but I'm gonna tell it how it is." From the
Derek
moment you see him on the screen, you know exactly. You can predict everything in this film that's gonna
Oh
happen.
yeah. Dude, like the first 2 minutes was painful for me because kind of like you mentioned, like the tooth puns. Oh my, dude, I was like already from the get go. His name is Tooth Fairy. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's his name. His name is Tooth Fairy. It's all about the tooth stuff. He's all about breaking teeth. I'm like, oh, are we really doing this right now? Like we're already talking about teeth and tooth fairies and
Huh.
stuff.
Yeah, man, that was the pinnacle of comedy in 2010. Don't you know?
God damn, it's
Having
just
the
a
Rock on the screen.
God.
That's right.
But it was so typical. I'm surprised this movie was not made by Disney because I thought this looked like a Disney movie from like the game
Technically,
plan, kind of like that to me, but worse.
yeah. I don't know if this predates that movie. I want to know if this does or not.
I
Because
think
The
game
Rock
plan
was in
came
a
out.
weird position. He was in a weird position in his career because he was getting movie roles, but not quite to the point of Fast and the Jesus Christ, he has a lot in his Wikipedia, but not to the point of like, Fast and the Furious or anything. He wasn't there
Yeah.
yet. He was like, I'm gonna do movies, but they're not gonna be good.
Yeah. I
Oh,
call
gee,
the
movie good?
I call the late period of 2000s in his career like when he has that hairline. I know the movie's not gonna be good.
Oh,
Once I see that hairline, I know it's like the movie's not good, except for gameplay. I know gameplay is like it's pretty good if I remember,
but
but
this came out after 2007 is when the game plan came out.
okay,
2010 is when this movie came out. Ooh,
yeah,
wow.
like
Also the other guys came out in 2010. That's a much better film than this movie.
oh yeah, it was. He was at a weird point in his career. It's like I'll try to do some kids movies. Why not? And one worked out.
You're
Maybe this
going. Don't be the tooth fairy. Don't do it. The script's bad.
this movie is just so weird. It's so weird. And like I'll say, The Rock
Is the
tried
only
a
good
little
thing.
bit. Yeah, he tried a little bit, but he was pretty bad. I can tell he was not he didn't perfect his acting as he is right now. In this movie, he was like kind of rough for me. Like, oh, some of his delivery, his reactions are like this is just very stilted. It's not as good, but he later on in his career he's better. But yeah, this movie,
Yeah,
Jesus.
this is the movie he wants to forget, but IMDb is like, hey, you want to watch this for free? Even free for this movie, the painful experience. I would rather sit through movie 43 and suffer than watch this movie again.
That movie 43 will be a challenge. I haven't seen that movie, but I've heard glorious
Oh,
things
you've
about
never
it.
seen it.
No, I've tried to avoid
Bro.
that movie. I've tried to avoid that movie like a plague. Like, no.
HBO Max is like, we got you, bro. Why
No.
the HBO Max have the movie, I don't
It's
know.
on HBO Max? Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. It just popped up one day like, movie 43.
I don't. I'm kind of curious to watch it, but at the same time, I don't want to watch it because I know it's going to be painfully to watch. I don't know if it's painful as this, but
Well,
God.
it wasn't as painful as the plot in this movie.
Dude.
So we established that he is a washed up, you know. I guess the movie establishes that we're supposed to know that.
But is he?
The
I'm
storytelling,
confused because like, is he washed up? Because he's in the beginning, he's all famous. Everybody loves him. Like Derek Tooth Fairy. I'm like,
well,
well, he's famous.
keep in mind, you know, the movie's like, oh, well, you know, he gets into fights, and the movie's
True.
trying to tell you that he's in a weird place in his career, but because of the way it's filmed, it's like, oh, you're supposed to be on his side. But then the dick behind the scenes, so we don't like him anymore.
No.
And I mean, to The Rock's credit, he tried.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could see a resemblance of a good movie in here if it was better written, better
Yeah.
directed, and maybe better CGI. But I mean, technically, you could argue the technology wasn't there. But then again, there were
Yeah.
plenty of movies back then that looked completely fine.
I mean,
So there's,
Avatar came out a year before. I mean, come on. No excuse.
and I mean,
although,
oh,
although this is produced by Blumhouse, so we know Blumhouse is cheap.
you know, I forgot. I did have raise an eyebrow when I saw Jason Blum. Jason Blum.
yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, I'm looking at this guy's directing history, and yeah, nothing I've seen before. Oh, the Santa Claus 2, that movie. That's the thing for another day. Those
That's a
sequels,
so-so.
that is good. Wow,
No.
this really, yikes! This guy's directing crew is terrible.
Uh,
Well, we're not even gonna say his name because his name doesn't matter to me. So after
Aw.
we go through this painful scene, mind you, to establish that The Rock is the Tooth Fairy, he knocks out a guy's tooth, and it is some of the worst CGI I've ever seen of a
Oh.
tooth. I mean, it's so bad it makes Tron look like a good CGI.
Dude, and the fans freaking out like, I got the tooth! I got the tooth! I'm like, it's kind of weird. Like, they got so excited about a tooth, but okay. That's what it is.
I mean, the crowd actors are so bad. You would
Oh,
think that this is an early Blumhouse movie.
yeah. The extras are. I mean, the
Oh
kid
man,
acting was pretty fine. He was all right. The kid.
I mean,
He was
it'd
he
be
was well.
nice. I don't know. Get the kid actors in this movie, how I feel about that in a little bit. But
oh,
then
yeah.
I'm skipping over the fact that when they go to the Rock's girlfriend's house, I guess,
Yeah.
for some reason they're, oh no, I'm getting ahead of myself. That is the next plot point. You know, oh, we establish all this stuff. You know, oh, he's an asshole.
Yeah. Oh, he's an
Hey,
asshole.
you'll never be a good hockey player. And that kid
No,
is
yeah.
sulking through the whole movie, mind you. Like this make this kid hit so hard. He was like, "Fucking, I'm a goofy goober now, bitch. I'm gonna be an
Yeah.
alcoholic."
Dude, he was. I mean, Derek. Man, they try to make me win him over by the end, but I think he was a complete asshole throughout the whole movie. Like, clear, almost very, almost unredeemable to me. Like, man, fuck this guy. Derek is a piece of shit. I don't like Derek.
I know, I love it. In the third act, they're like desperately trying to have this serious drama now with the fucking tooth fairy. Like,
yeah.
yeah, you're gonna like him now. It's like
Like, nah, too late.
it's corny and it's. I could see the attempt again, like, you know, if it was better directed and everything, maybe this would have been good. But
Maybe.
the way it stands, this is just a terrible, terrible viewing experience. But moving on to, you know, where we established that, you know, The Rock is dating this, like, how do I put this nicely? I mean, I guess she's hot. I don't know. The movie
Actually,
sure
just
acts
hot.
like she is.
Yeah, she's hot. She's beautiful. Beautiful
Or
woman.
something over here like, yes.
She's a beautiful woman. I mean,
Uh,
that relationship was kind
yes,
of weird in the
I'm
beginning because
talking shit, but
I thought they were like married at the beginning, but then they're like, no, they're
get
not.
see the writing is bad. You don't know. I mean, the only reason you know that that's only his girlfriend is because they go, "Oh, go hang out with." The hell's his name? You know, it's this plot is so forgettable. I can't even remember characters' fucking
oh,
names.
oh, the hockey
What the
player guys.
Oh, Randy? Yeah, I think it's Randy. That's
Oh,
the
the
kid's name.
kid. Oh, the
Kid
kid.
with the
Yes.
guitar playing. Mind you, he's like fucking killing it playing fucking Sunshine of My Love. He's like,
Hell yeah.
"Da-na-na-na." Even though there's okay, mind you, this is where I have a problem already. He's fucking killing it on this electric guitar. And nowhere in sight is there a speaker that this thing is hooked up to, and somehow
Oh, yeah.
magic, his guitar is amplified.
The Tooth Fairy magic was already there. It was already established in this world. It's just,
It
yeah, I didn't
make-
even think about that.
I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, I like that song. Wait a minute. Is that kid doing that? Is there already magic going on?
Dude, that Randy kid, man, he was like the most depressing kid I've ever seen. He's so just bitter looking. He's just like, I hate everything.
I get maybe that's the point. I don't know.
He's
That's
a
just
teenager, I guess. So I'm like, all
that's a
right, I
weird thing to
guess.
put in a kid's movie though. Like, oh, I hate you. You're not my dad. Like that's the
Yeah.
time given. You're not my real dad. I don't want to hang out.
Yeah.
But we do establish though that like The Rock has no interest, or not The Rock. Derek has no interest in these kids,
Oh, he
except
just
except
it's
his
with the
daughter.
girl.
He's
Yeah.
like he cares a little bit. He
Yeah.
cares enough for me to know. Okay, he's not a complete dick.
No.
He's well, except to the point where he was ready to tell that little girl, "Oh,
Oh,
it
yeah.
don't exist."
Yeah, they don't exist. And steal her money, her Tooth Fairy money. He's like, I don't fucking
So okay, yeah. First of all, this is where we get into that poker scene was fucking ridiculous.
care.
That's a little gag or something. They were like, "See, this is a kids' movie, so we can't have beer in the table. We're gonna put in the juice box, you see? So they're not drinking alcohol." And I'm like, oh, that's so stupid.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's like they were trying to make him as adult as possible, but at the same time, I'm like, nah, we can't make him that too adult oriented. You know, this is
Even
still a
though
kids.
the next scene, they're like, all right, let's go get some brews.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what? So you guys were just gonna drink juice boxes, which, mind you, it is very respectable that they are not drinking and going to drive. I do
That is
respect
true.
that.
That is true.
But then they proceed to go, let's go to the bar in a fucking kids movie,
So let's
even
just
though
go
we
and
don't
hang out at his house. Like,
we don't see it.
No, no, it's true. It is implied. It is implied. You know,
Heavily
for
implied.
the adults. Wink, wink.
Oh,
But yeah, Derek, man, what an asshole.
Derek, Derek, Derek. I mean, he's so much of a dick. You'd think he's Derek Jeter.
I mean, his name already is just a piece of shit name, Derek Thompson. Man, he already sounds like a dick.
Okay, so I guess we established that after this, this plot is so forgettable. I'm trying to remember this movie, and I can vaguely remember this movie in the back of my head. Okay, the basic plot point is characters progressed from dick at the beginning of the movie to asshole at the end. Okay, all right.
Yeah, apparently this movie has that's the trajectory.
There's a plot, I
I
guess.
guess. But I
Well,
mean, dude, like he went because he's playing poker with his friends. He's like, oh, I need some money to pay off. I guess I'll steal not my stepdaughter, but like my girlfriend's daughter's money. Then from Tooth Fairy. It's like
but
that
he
was
was
a dick.
prepared to like, put the money back, which is like, what?
I guess he was gonna try to do. I don't know. By the way, because once he got that money, he had a lot of bills in his hand to show, when he showed his friends. I'm like, is that the money that she had under her pillow? What the fuck? That's a lot of money.
I was so confused. I'm like, wait, is that his spending money? Like, why did he even need to take it then? Like, I
No,
don't. The
I
movie
don't.
doesn't fail to explain this, by the way. The movie
Oh,
does a poor job at explaining it.
it's just the story, the way they handle some of the plot is
and
poor, very poor.
we get into, I think a hockey game, yada yada yada, blah
Oh
blah
yeah.
blah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Then we're introduced to Ryan
Uh,
Sheckler, the new kid on the block.
yeah, I mean, I guess Ryan Schickler hated this movie so much he just decided to quit acting after this.
Yeah, he's like, I'm good. He's like, I tried. Because man, did he
Yeah,
try? His acting.
okay. I
It,
don't know if I want to say he tried because every time he was up in the camera, his performances were so stiff. Like, yeah, Gramps.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just didn't believe him as a hockey player. The
Dude.
Rock, I believe
Yeah.
he could be a player.
Yeah.
Not this fucking skateboarding guy over
No.
here. I don't believe you at all.
And his character was so one note. Oh my god, so one note. His whole character was just, I'm young, you are old. Ha ha. That's his whole character. Like, I'm like, wow, this dude getting to a point where he's very insulting to just The Rock out of nowhere. It's like, you're old, you suck. I mean, I'm carrying this whole team. I'm like, how do people like this kid? I'm like, why do people root for this new athlete? He's a fucking asshole. He's AJ's, aging or ageism or whatever you say it. He's being an asshole.
Oh my god. And then I guess we get into the part that is the most ridiculous part of the movie.
Which one?
Oh.
Which one?
The part where he fucking fucking is like sleeping. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
what the fuck is this shit? I mean, it looks so. It's like they just ripped off, like, oh, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, here's your ticket.
Oh yeah, it's true. True. It's just again they handle the storytelling so badly because where the hell I was like, what is this ticket? What is going on? This belief ticket thing? Like what is going on? It just came out of nowhere to me. It's so stupid.
So I guess it's implied that he thinks he's waking up in a dream. He starts attacking. What is this character's name? Or he gets mad at everybody at this point before
Yeah.
he at this guy. What the hell's his name? Stephen Merchant as
Stephen
Tracy. Ah, the
Tracy.
worst character in this fucking movie.
You think it's the
He
worst character? You think so?
one of
Okay,
his
okay, one of.
performance. Okay, I do like him outside of this for some things, but he was just following the footnotes. And The
Yeah.
Rock and them clearly had no chemistry whatsoever. There
Yeah.
was nothing for me.
They
They
try.
force it. They force it, and it just.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets so silly to the point where I keep thinking, oh, he's there's gonna be a love subplot, right?
Yeah,
No,
me too, right?
he just wants the wings. The way they slow down the camera,
That's
they do a lot of
dude.
like that in this movie, by the way.
And that shot was so weird because like his reaction to the wings was like I'm like, bro, you're kind of getting too caught up on the wings right now. I'm
Right.
kind of stupid
Ooh,
as
I
hell.
like the wings.
Dude,
I
but I'm
like them.
glad I'm glad it didn't went to his love subplot because I was like, wow, this movie's way too late to kind of introduce shit out of nowhere. But I'm glad they didn't went to that because yeah, I was like, we're now we're in. We're gonna introduce a subplot of like he's in love with somebody. Like no.
No, that would have been weird because then that would have
Yeah.
been too many subplots in this movie. There's way too many already to begin with. We got the kids thing going on. We got Derek's over here trying to, but the movie can't
Mhm.
decide what it wants to be
No.
because at times they tried to make this movie part wholesome, serious movie, comedy movie, and basically a cartoon with how stupid the jokes were.
It's dumb. Dude, speaking of cartoony, like, do you notice how many times they said the word tooth in the script and like 60 minutes in? I'm like, wow. Like even when they went to Tooth Fairyland, they kept going with the tooths and the tooths, the teeth, the teeth. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
I know where I'm watching. I know.
Because
It to remind me.
the minute that we're introduced to Tracy and Derek introducing each other, they're arguing back and forth like, I need to get out of here. Oh no, well you see, you're in trouble. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. So I'm like, whoa, well,
And Tracy was kind
call
of
it that.
into it. Tracy was into it too. It's like, all right, let's fucking fight. But I thought you were supposed
I
to be the
will
rational
say
one here.
the one joke that works in this scene, the only joke for me that works, is when Tracy proceeds to take off his glasses. Says, "All right,
Oh,
Shit, I can't see anything without these. And
Yeah.
puts them back on. Okay, it had to be an improvised joke because it's too funny to be in the
Yeah.
script. There's no way.
No,
That
yeah.
could not have been in the script.
Yeah, there's some genuine little chuckles in here. I was like, alright, that's kind of
Like,
funny.
okay, all right. And then 15 minutes into the movie, which is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Julie Andrews of fucking The Sound of Music is in this? And Mary Poppins?
Right.
Okay, see, I see where you're saying Disney because I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, once I saw her, I was like, oh, what are you doing here? Poor Julie, come on, no. Come
To
on.
her credit, she's taking this 100% seriously.
Oh, yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
minute she gets on the camera, she's like, yes, I am the boss here. And I'm like, whoa, okay, girl, look, I know you're like a 10 out of 10 actress, but like,
Yeah,
did you read the script?
yeah, that's true.
Nobody else is trying.
I feel bad. I'm like, what are you doing here, Julie Andrews? Why? I was
Well, at
like,
least
at least I like seeing her. Yeah, I like
she's like,
seeing her.
nope,
It,
not coming back for the sequel.
is it kind of weird also, like, in this world, the administrative people, they're all British. You know, Tracy, he's the
That's
king.
they try to call that out because The Rock is
Yeah.
like, why is everybody talking in a British accent?
Yeah, it's
But see,
like anyone's superior.
the movie fails to explain that. There's no explanation for why that happens other than later on, Brandy T. Jackson is the only person who's not British in this whole fucking
Yeah,
movie,
yeah, I think so.
which is
I think there's also
consistent.
another guy. I think there was also another guy with Tracy, but I think he was not British. Like
Oh wait, yeah, Billy Crystal. He's not
oh,
British either.
oh yeah, Billy
And
Crystal and this other
that's
extra.
right, everybody. Billy Crystal's in this fucking movie as Jerry. Basically, the cue. This is where the movie decides, you know, yes, we're gonna make this a spy movie.
Quote unquote.
Spy movie. Because clearly Billy Crystal was told, okay, we want you to be the Q character, but we don't have anything in the script for you to say. So say what you want to say.
Exactly.
One of his lines that he says to The Rock, I'm not well. I actually just have a few months to live.
Oh.
How fast the censors doesn't make any sense to me because I'm like, that should not be in a kid's movie. In no
No,
way should it be in a kid's movie. Joking about being ill and about to die soon.
no. I Billy Crystal in this movie, I actually found him to be quite funny because I was like, all right, he's on point. He's selling it to me. He's getting those jokes in there. Like, okay, he's. I can tell he's trying. And he's
He's
kind of.
clearly the only one putting in an effort. That's
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
putting in effort, but his character's kind of cool in the beginning, but then it got uncomfortable for me. Like that one, the one joke that got me, it was kind of uncomfortable. Was that he apparently shrinks and then gets on top of his wife when she's asleep.
Yeah,
Just
that
leaves.
one I wasn't gonna mention, but I was like,
Yeah, it's like,
did they not tell Billy Crystal this is a kids movie? I don't feel like
it's
he was told.
no, yeah, he was like in a completely different movie. It's like Billy Crystal, what we're trying to do here? It was weird. I was like, what is this joke they're
Or
trying
like,
to do? Like,
okay, you're in Austin Powers 4, but with two.
right? It was odd, but I did that one because again, he's only for this one scene and then he's gone. I forgot he was in the movie for the rest of
Well, we'll get
it.
to that later, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah, they landed. But I was like, oh yeah,
the
Billy
movie was
Crystal.
like, oh yeah, we can't afford to have good comedians in this movie. Did you expect good actors to be in this movie for more than a minute?
Yeah, I was like, no, they're done.
Because you're not gonna get it. Okay, so this is where the movie is a blur for me for a while because it goes back from okay, The Rock has to go do his job,
Mhm,
hijinks ensue. I believe.
mhm.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. The first one is he's got to go shrink down himself because they establish
Yes.
he doesn't have any powers because he doesn't believe
Yes.
in a tool.
He doesn't believe.
So apparently they're like, okay, we're not going to leave you high and dry. Here's some shrinking powder. Here's some forgetting dust, which I'm like, okay. The way they use it in this movie, it's almost like a roofie type thing. How far they take
Oh, yeah,
it's kind
yeah.
of weird.
It's weird, but also what I didn't get about this movie was kind of confusing because before this they had the whole training thing like, all right, we'll teach you how to fly. That's where we see Brendan T. Jackson, which by the way, I don't know if you found this scene weird when he meets dude out of nowhere. He just sees Brendan T. Jackson. He's just like, who the hell is this guy? He was already confrontational to him. He's also about to fight him for no reason. He just wants to punch him. Like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Like, he's just standing there, just standing there. Like, why you want to kick his ass already? Like, you don't know this guy. It was weird, but what was confusing for me is like I thought that they skipped a montage of him training to fly, but apparently he did not learn to fly.
That is an awful training. But poor Brendan T. Jackson, he just was there to be like, all
Yeah,
right, we don't just have white people. All right, see you later.
yeah, Randy Jackson. Jesus Christ, doing a kind of stereotype. I'm like, God damn. But he was kind of funny, but
He wasn't putting in any kind of effort. He was just like, I'm here. Which,
dude.
considering we're God,
Dude, and did you find out someone comes about Tracy? He's like, oh, wait a minute. There's my black friend. Let me just act black out of nowhere. He's like, hey, my homie. Did you hear him say that? It was weird.
I saw that. I noticed it because he changed like his vocal tone.
Yeah, he was like, hey.
And
He's
was,
like, come on, my homie.
what's up? How you doing? And I'm like,
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is
uh,
this?
things that would never fly in today's types of
Oh
movies.
no! And I
Never
was
do
like,
anymore.
it was weird. It's like, oh, the only black guy here. Let me act cool and black. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What the hell was that? It was like, okay, this is 2010. Like, wow,
I
10
guess
years
that was
ago.
acceptable. I'm
10
trying
years
to
ago.
think if this was, did that predate Tropic Thunder? Ooh, was Brendan T. Jackson still famous? Oh
When's
yeah,
this?
he is listed low. I'm
This is
trying to
after
think.
Tropic Thunder, I think, right?
Yes, this is after 2 years
Yeah.
after.
They did Big Mama House 3, and that was it.
Mom House 3. Well, I mean, Brandon T. Jackson has had a career, but he's kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, he's been on the downfall, especially when he tried to like diss Tropic Thunder for the whole gay thing. I was like,
Yeah.
that's not how that works, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, progressed after the Billy Crystal scene and yada yada yada.
Yeah,
Here's
the
your
house.
tools. Get out of here. You're not left high and dry. Use this shit. Here's how you do this. Do that. Do this. Mind you, he gets a weird tool that's like you like give it to people, I guess, to make a barking sound, or you give it
Oh
to
yeah,
the
I
animals.
didn't get that candy. What was that about? It's like you make people bark and act like a dog or something.
It didn't make any sense. It was only just used for like a throwaway gag in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, but it didn't
Which
make
did,
any sense.
and I guess he gets like this like spray that like makes animals go away or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, the cat thing, the cat alarm or horn or something.
I think we've gone through all the tools, the forget thing, yada yada.
Yeah.
So Tracy, oh yes, Tracy's his caseworker. This
Oh,
is
the
what he's
kids.
caseworker. He gets a name. He's a caseworker, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's all
The
right. I
case.
guess.
Okay.
So basically, The Rock goes to his first assignment, and it's a spy movie, and he has to shrink down because he doesn't believe.
Yeah.
Oh, which did you get like weird vibes of like them trying to sort of force Christianity into this movie? Because I felt like it.
For
Because they were
for
like,
what?
"Oh, you gotta believe, you gotta believe."
Oh,
And they
maybe I didn't
get you
see it like
there.
that. Maybe I didn't see it that way. I guess it's more like, oh, just keep it, children's innocence. It's cute. Don't ruin it. Don't be an
Yeah.
asshole.
This could be a precursor to the Fast and the Furious universe for The Rock, though. Just believe in the family.
You gotta
You got
believe in the family. Yeah, that's right, because he did not believe in anybody in this movie
no.
except
He,
himself.
he just did not believe in this whole. He doesn't really believe until like the third act, which is
Yeah.
weird.
No, he doesn't
That's
even believe in himself, because his whole thing was like, oh, don't have dreams, because dreams will disappoint you, and then you'll be a failure. I'm like, wow, thanks, Derek. That's inspirational. Thank you.
Thanks. Jeez.
Yeah, I believe in myself now because of you. Yeah, Derek, what a guy. But
Oh,
dude, did you? It's like the laws in this. Dude, do you find it weird the laws that these Tooth Fairy created? They don't make any sense to me. These laws, I'm like, oh, you're here. You have to be a Tooth Fairy because you didn't believe in us, and you disseminated disbelief to a child. So you're gonna be a Tooth Fairy. I'm like, so he broke a law that he did not know existed. How are we supposed to know that these laws exist? We don't know that Tooth Fairy exists. I'm like, oh, what the fuck do I care? I'm like, okay. And then Julie Andrews makes a big deal like, hey, all right, if you reveal to yourself that you're a Tooth Fairy, to anyone, or if you say anyone that you're a Tooth Fairy, you will be a Tooth Fairy indefinitely. And how many times has he revealed himself as the Tooth Fairy to everyone, even from this first mission? I'm like, and no
a
consequences?
times. I mean, it's to the point of like he just reveals it to an adult. No,
Oh,
not even like no, just he's just gonna pull a Spider-Man.
yeah. And the first kid that he visited, the kid saw him already. I'm like, no consequences about that at all.
I
It's just
guess
like he's fine.
slide like oh,
And like,
like oh,
oh,
I guess there's a piece of dialogue where they're like, oh, well, we had to take care of it. So I'm like, well, it would have been nice to
oh
see you
yeah,
take care of it, quote unquote.
right.
We didn't get any context behind that.
He didn't even try to do what Misha does. Like the whole point was to like use it if you get in trouble, but he didn't even try. I'm like, what the fuck? And then we saw Tech Deck, by the way. Remember that Tech Deck's little skateboards? I
That's how
was
you
like,
know
oh
this movie
shit.
is in 2010 because they stopped everything
I was
to
like,
be like, we got a skateboarder in the movie. Tech
yeah,
deck. Eh?
Tech Deck. And his
Electric.
shitty grin. Oh god, he's like, I'm the Rock. I'm doing it on the air. What's
I just
up?
want to talk about how bad these scenes are. Because we go through a bunch of these like Tooth Fairy segments, which they're not even worth mentioning, but God forbid, these are like poor attempts at Spy Kids, basically.
Yeah.
Like even Robert Rodriguez at least made a film that looked like a toy.
Yeah.
This movie's like
It's,
CGI. Look good.
sometimes were the wings not real? Sometimes they look kind of real to me, or I don't know. They look like
At
prop.
points it looked like it. At other points when they were moving, they were definitely CGI.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh
it was very apparent. I
yeah.
I did end up looking at a behind the scenes video, and some of it was shot with like practical effects with the wings. It was very. I mean, it's very apparent
Okay.
whenever there's CGI in this movie because like literally there's a scene where the Rock's face like gets disformed, and it's like, oh, that
Oh,
is
yeah.
CGI for
So
sure.
terrible. And the wings, yeah, the wings are like a hit or miss. And again, it's also weird how they're make a big deal like, don't reveal yourself to anyone. You're a tooth fairy. But every night when you have to do a job, wings will automatically come out. Doesn't matter if you're playing hockey. Doesn't matter if you're your girlfriend, having a date with her. Your wings will pop out. It doesn't matter. So it's like, oh, okay, that's not concealing his wings that much or his identity because it'll reveal to anyone. Like, dude, that scene with his girlfriend is it's kind of weird. Like, oh,
This, this this is where it gets into. I don't give a shit about the subplot of him trying friends with the kid. Mind you, we get a fucking cameo with your Guitar City or whatever the fuck it
oh
was.
yeah, Guitar Center.
Like, oh, Guitar Center, come here. It's like it's so apparent. And this is the only time like, okay, all right, he's plugging it in clearly to like test it.
Yeah,
And the Rock
exactly.
is Derek is trying to be nice. He's attempting. He's like, okay, I'm famous. Let's go buy you a guitar. Let's go do it,
Yeah,
man. Let's
exactly.
go. Let's go try this out. So this
Trying
is
to
the
help him
weird
out.
scene. This is the weird scene where Randy is just getting bullied by this one kid, and
Oh,
a girl comes in. oh yeah, that's right. This girl comes up in the middle of the movie. This doesn't go anywhere. You think it's gonna be a romantic subplot for the child, right?
No.
Nah, this movie's not. So you're not gonna get a follow up on that. But
No.
Randy's getting paid, and like The Rock's like, I'm more sucker to you.
Yeah,
Ah! Run
almost borderline child abuse. Like, I'll fucking kick your ass. I'm like, oh shit. Remember, Rock, he's a kid. Don't threaten him that much. But yeah, the kid's an asshole. He's like, get away from my girl. He's like, okay.
and then we establish the biggest movie in children's movie, the biggest trope, the talent show.
Oh yeah, that's right. Talent show.
I need a guitar for the talent show.
Ooh.
What is this? Fucking goddamn Susie the Pussycats or fucking
Even by
is
the end
this
of the movie,
Brad?
I don't have a guitar. It's tonight. I don't have a guitar. What am I gonna do, Derek? That's like, fuck you.
And magically we get this montage of like the movie, like, oh, Derek and them don't like each other, but because he stood up for Randy, they're
Yeah,
friends.
right.
Oh, they're friends now. Isn't that so cute? Isn't that so precious?
Dude,
Oh,
also,
look at
did you
that.
not find it weird? Like the weirdest, lamest excuse to make. All right, how do we put Derek and Randy together? All right, I guess Ashley Judd and her daughter are gonna go to a beauty pageant out of nowhere. I was like, what?
Which it's followed up with like, okay,
Yeah, then like the kid like in full makeup. I'm like, that's
who
strange.
cares? Like,
It's,
why do we?
yeah, like why are we getting this kid in makeup? It's like,
I
what the
don't.
hell's going on? It's like this beauty pageant. Like, we're gonna go to a beauty pageant. Cause why the hell not? Like, okay, that's
It's like,
that's wonderful.
okay, then. It's
Yeah,
not like that comes up. If it came up again, like, oh, we won.
no,
No, they
it's like,
established one scene where they got a makeover, and never
yeah,
again. We just never get any context behind that scene.
no, they
It's
just come back
like,
like, I
oh,
was
she's trying to look
pretty.
more beautiful for Derek or something. It's like, I was just there.
Yeah, they're like, I'm
Throwing
pretty now.
jokes. It's like, oh, I'm so
Yeah,
pretty.
yeah.
Oh,
It's like that's so random. Just like, all right, we don't have any other explanation to make these two just be together. We'll just beauty pageant. All right, bye bye. We'll see you guys
then we
later.
get more hockey games,
Yeah,
riffraff going on. I don't care about that. Whatever. We skip. Let's skip
yeah,
to for
right.
no reason. He does it wrong again. He does the tooth fairy thing wrong again. Yada yada yada. Scene doesn't matter. This goes on for like 10 minutes almost.
Hmm.
Then we get, oh, you're punished. No more. We're running out of supplies. In comes, oh yeah, you know the pinnacle of the comedian I want in my children's film, Seth MacFarlane, everybody from Family
Yeah,
Guy. Yeah,
yay!
because the dude who made fucking Ted is what I want in my children's movie.
Yes, the guy who
And,
plays
and
Peter.
this scene goes on for a little while where he's like, I'm Ziggy. I got drugs here, man. That's what it feels
Yeah,
like.
how does this character exist in this Tooth Fairy world? Because you see him with like chains, almost like they're implying like he's like a gangster or something, and he's pulling out like drugs from his vest and shit. I'm like, what the
I mean,
hell?
it's very clear that they were like, okay, Seth MacFarlane is a hot commodity right now.
Mm-hmm.
We need him to be in this movie, and we'll just let him do whatever he wants. We
Yeah,
don't care
and then he's
because
gone.
he's just doing well. Yeah, they never like follow up. Like Ziggy never gets in trouble.
No.
Obviously, doesn't tell anybody that Ziggy did this because he's technically cheating. So
Mm-hmm.
he can't like tell anybody. But like
Yeah.
it's like, oh wait, I'm kind of interested a little bit though in like how does Ziggy get this fake shit and like
Yes.
how is he still here? As stupid as it is to see Seth MacFarlane pull up, I'm like, that's kind of an interesting plot point. Like, how is he here? Why is he
Yes.
here? Was he just a gangster that just rolled up and is like,
Yeah.
A black. It's just a one-note joke that like just never comes up again. It's like, what the
No.
fuck?
And what is his motivation? Like, why does he want to help? Derek.
If we
Why?
at least had a motivation that like, oh, he wants to screw over Derek, but no, we don't even get that
No.
much characterization out of him. It's
And
just
I also want to know like, does like American currency work in this world? Because he actually asked for like, give me $1,000 and I'll give
yeah,
you.
that doesn't make any sense to me either. So does that imply that this guy is like that must imply that this guy is in trouble and that
Yeah,
he's here as a human. That's got to be what they're implying.
maybe. Because like, why would he need money in this world where money's not worth anything? It's it's so weird. I also want to know how Tooth Fairy get money. That's another issue. That's something from like actual Tooth Fairy mythology that I don't know. Like, why do they get money? I don't know. But
Because
Ziggy.
there's just like a restaurant in there that they like eat food and shit. So
Oh
like,
yeah. I was like, I need $1,000 for what? I, all right, Ziggy's not coming back.
uh,
Well, goodbye, Seth MacFarlane. It's
you're not gonna get any explanation. And clearly, I don't know how Seth MacFarlane feels about this movie. I'm sure he regrets this role. I
yeah.
hope he wouldn't.
I'm sure he's making fun of it in Family Guy at some point, maybe. I'm
Or
pretty
maybe
sure.
he's just like, I did a kids movie.
Yeah, I was like, we don't talk about that movie. Let's talk about Ted. All right. But yeah, his character. I mean, it amounted to nothing. Even the drug thing, it only led up to Jared getting imprisoned. That was only it. It's just not. It wasn't a big plot point. Just like, oh, his face got stretchy, and he fucked up.
Just a, just a one note joke of like, oh no, it's wacky.
Yeah,
That's all it's there for.
and yeah. The woman's like, oh, you look weird. Like, I got aliens on my porch. And dude, by the way, the cops got there so quick for a lady who called, "I have aliens on my porch." I'm like, okay, so did they?
Yeah,
Did this?
that's the shit out of me because I was like, holy shit, these are the fastest responding cops ever.
Yeah, I was like,
Like,
apparently, because it was
or
a
they're
real.
like,
Yeah, if it's a real cop, they'd be like, an alien? Yeah, okay. Shut the fuck up. Like, what the hell was that call? The prank caller?
I give eight-legged freaks more credit for like
Yeah.
spiders. Oh fuck
Yeah,
that shit.
right.
Putting the phone off.
Unless, now I'm thinking about it, maybe they were like, aliens? Oh, you mean undocumented people? Skirt! Oh, of course we'll pull out immediately. Maybe that's
I,
what they're implying.
I don't know because it's so confusing. It's never really explained. They're
It's
just
not.
simply there. Okay.
It's so dumb. This
But yeah,
movie.
we get oh, the subplot with, oh, the Rock. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention in the middle of all this when the Rock is like, when Derek is like, oh, he's trying to mac on his girlfriend. He's like, oh, yeah, get into the mood.
Oh, yeah.
Duty calls.
Yeah.
Answer the phone on the fucking outdated BlackBerry that he keeps reading the text
Oh,
from.
yeah. Oh, dude. I was like, wow, did we have those phones back in the day?
So
How would you even survive?
this is like the recurring gag of he's trying to do this and that and trying to spend time, yada 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 yada.
Mhm.
And at one point in the film, understandably, his girlfriend is like, "Where do you keep going?" Like,
Yeah.
this is the only part of the movie that made sense to me. I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
where are you going?" Like,
And he goes to
it's
jail.
it's like it's implied that she thinks he's like cheating,
Mm-hmm.
and mind you, in the middle of all this, when he's in the jail, he keeps using the fucking
Dude.
memory thing, like Men in Black. He's like, "Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not what I'm gonna say. That's not what I'm gonna say."
No. And that was kind of funny.
That was kind of funny, although it's not consistent because all of a sudden, apparently, the guard's allowed to see that.
Yeah, dude, the guard. I mean, they're in the precinct. He's watching him, what seems to be committing like a crime. He's drugging this woman, and he's just freezing there, astonished as to what the hell's going on.
He's like playing this up for laughs. He's like, "I wish I had some of that," and it's kind of giving me.
Yeah.
But the more I thought about it, I was like,
I was like, that's weird.
he's kind of roofing her indirectly in a weird way.
Yeah, and he's like, I wish I had that. I'm like, oh, fuck?
can't remember if this is before that segment or not, but it's somewhere around that time frame where he's like, "Listen, I want to tell you what's going on, but I can't."
But I can't.
And that old trope of, "I'd love to tell you, but I can't." Like it's fucking Hannah Montana or something. He's like,
Yeah, right. It
"Oh,
could have been some of the 80s. Come on. It-
yeah, and we're not even at the hour mark at this point, mind you. We're like almost there. The movie's like almost wrapped up,
no.
and this is where we're like, oh yeah, hockey's in the movie. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Dude, the hockey parts are the most boring parts of
Uh,
the whole movie to me.
I know they use real players and all that, but oh my god, these scenes are just they drag on.
Oh,
And if
yeah.
you look close enough, you can tell it's not The Rock, and
No, oh no.
you
That's
can
another
tell.
guy.
You're
It's
like,
just some tall, skinny guy. Like that is not The Rock. I'm sorry. Dude, they made hockey so unexciting. I mean, I never liked hockey to begin with, but they made it so unexciting for me. Like, wow, this is
the
supposed to
thing.
make
That's
me
the weird thing because
like.
like unironically, like the Mighty Ducks with Disney, like, oh, hockey seems awesome. It's like,
Yeah,
fuck yeah,
it's fun.
dude, I would have been the Mighty Ducks. This movie is just like, and the scenes are so short that you just completely forget that like The Rock is a fucking hockey player. It's like,
Yeah, he's a hockey player. They only bring him back for like, oh, Ryan Sheckler, he's a douchebag, and dude, that one scene that was just very
ah,
fucked up. It's like, oh, he's turning to the ferry and he's locking up himself in this bathroom stall, and his friends, mind you, his friends, they try to break down the stall to just fuck with him. It was like, oh, you're wearing a slipper, you pussy, and they're breaking down the stall. I'm like, what the fuck, man? That's crossing the line right there. You know, my friends. It's fucked up,
ah.
man. It's so fucked up. But yeah, the hockey stuff, that's the worst parts for me. Even the last game that he plays is so long. So long. I didn't care about this game. Like, oh, he's coming back to his golden days. I don't care.
And then it's like, oh no, we need to. The movie, the third act is like, oh, we need to have conflict. Suddenly, even though he's been learning things the whole movie, because he has a bad game. Randy, fuck your dreams, and Randy smashes the guitar. And to these kids' credit, like Randy's like understandably upset and smashes it. Like he's legit. He's like,
Yeah.
"Ah!"
Yeah, he's
I
like, what
didn't
the
know where
fuck?
in the third act these kids are like actually acting. I don't know what they were told, but they were like, "All right." Besides Tess, like she's kind of just okay. She's just kind of there. We don't really get to know her enough to like.
Yeah. She's
The movie
adorable.
kind of pushes her to the side, like, okay, she's just a side character. Clearly,
Yeah.
we're gonna make this movie about Randy and Derek trying to like bond and like Derek be his actual dad and yada yada yada. Which also
Yeah.
that is a poor is a poor attempt at oh Randy's dad is not there. They barely explain it. They
No,
really
no,
don't do a good job. We don't
no,
even get to see the dad's side of the story. No, just
no.
dad doesn't exist in this universe.
They
Apparently,
only
he's just not
mentioned they only mentioned like my mom's past boyfriends were shit like assholes. And that's the only thing they imply. Like, oh
that's the
yeah,
only context we get is like, oh, they were jerks.
yeah. I
I thought it was so strange that at the beginning he was prepared to be like, what if I just lie to my mom and say that I like you? And I'm like, fuck up. You don't want to like even have a fake relationship with this guy? Like, really?
yeah. And Dara was like, fuck it, hell yeah. If it's it makes me be on your mom's good side. I don't care about you, kid. I'm like, wow,
It was
Derek
so weird.
again.
He was like trying to bend over backwards for him too. He was like, "Hey, let's go practice. Like, I got drums in my house. Let's go do that." I was like, "Oh, okay, seems cool."
Yeah.
Nah, I'm a rock star. I'm gonna be cool. and grungy. Like they were going for that aspect so much, clearly.
Yeah.
With cut and like, oh, I'm a teenager, but he's clearly a kid. The movie's
Yeah.
trying hard to be like,
Yeah.
he's a rock star. But segueing back into, oh, the conflict. Ah, no, I'll never see you again, Derek. I hate you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's the other conflict too with what's his name again? Merchant's
See?
character? Tracy, yeah. I want to be a
Oh,
fairy.
I completely. She's like, oh, I want to have wings.
Yeah.
I would. I'm telling you, dude, there's a Christian aspect to this because they're all like, oh, I want to get my wings and yada
Yeah.
yada.
The sort
I
of
want to be, I want to
get
be
my
an angel.
it
I'm not reading too much into it, but I'm like, dude, I just kept getting that
is,
weird vibe.
dude,
But
and
that's
the training stuff with Tracy didn't make any sense to me because in the beginning of the movie, Tracy's the one who knows everything about art. This is what you gotta do to be a fairy, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And then when he wants to be a fairy, it's like, what do I do? How do I be a fairy? And Derek's the one that's teaching him how to do it. How do you even fly and stuff? How do you even go to a
you
room?
see, that was an excuse to just have a quick montage to make the plot
Yeah,
points make sense.
yeah. And
It
apparently
was
Derek has like,
okay. It was like, okay, so we got to get him back on Randy's side.
exactly.
And he gets inspired when he sees Derek not doing a good job. So he tells him, you need to believe in yourself. So then he helps Tracy. That's all it was. Just a poor excuse to
Yeah.
have a sports montage, yada,
like
yada,
like he's
yada.
turning on a new leaf, like I'm a new better person. But it's so weird how in I guess this is Derek's backyard or wherever. He also has like a training ground for how to be a fairy with like poster boards and shit of people, and he has barbed wire in the floor. And he was like, where the hell did he get all this shit? Like, like all these boards, like these poster boards of people to spring up an action, like
There, there
triggers. I'm
is
like, what the
one funny
fuck?
part about that scene, though, I will admit, is when it's clearly like improvised
Oh
that he smacks somebody.
oh
He's like, "Oh, a human." That was clearly not in the script, but they were like, okay,
no.
that's gonna be hilarious. That's gonna kill in the theater.
Yeah, Steven Merchant's like, I'll just do whatever I want from here and there. I'm here.
Because this movie is so weird because Stephen Merchant is either reading the lines and just phoning it in, or he's
Yeah.
improvising, and they didn't know which one to pick.
yeah.
It's full of improvisers. I mean, that's the sad
Yeah.
part about it. The
It's
only actor is The Rock technically in this movie, and okay, yes, some other people, of course.
and that's legit.
Yeah.
That's just like the best
I mean,
actor
she.
of the whole goddamn movie.
Oh my gosh, easily best,
Yeah.
best one. Clearly giving an effort. She was like, "Oh, I'm in the Tooth Fairy."
yeah, like,
Okay,
asshole.
but then we get the whole thing at the game. It's like, oh, everything's all wrapping up. Derek's at the game, and what happens? You know, oh, it's just, suddenly the movie turns into Angels in the Outfield. By the way,
That's
because
true.
Tracy is just sitting there like it's fucking Angels in the Outfield. Like I'm telling you, this is the scene where I was like, okay, they were clearly ripping off that movie
Oh
because
yeah.
Tracy looks at the camera and is like, look at that house it is at. I can take care of it, but look at whose house it is. Look at the
Yeah.
address. And it is the stupidest thing ever. When like Derek is just like, all right, I'm gonna go do it. Whee!
Yeah, he's flying. People are like, at least stunned, but I would have I would have freaked the fuck out. I'm like, what the fuck? This dude has wings, and he's
And
opened a portal.
that part, I was like, what the wait? There's portals in this universe that they can
Yeah,
use?
I was
What?
like, the fuck? And the moment I would have run out of the auditorium is when fucking Stephen Merchant rolls out to the rink with a giant laser gun, or amnesia gun, I guess. But I would have not known
Oh,
any better. I would have been like, get the fuck out of here! This dude's a terrorist. He's trying to kill us with his fucking
and
laser gun.
that's another thing they're stealing from another movie. Oh, we're gonna use this special ray, like Men in Black. Yeah, remember
Oh
that movie?
yeah. Oh, that's
I
true.
mean, multiple times throughout this movie, they are just like ripping off Men in Black with the amnesia thing.
Oh yeah.
They're just like, especially in that particular scene where it's like, all right, everybody, I'm gonna spray you with this shit, and they're just kind of sitting there willingly, like,
Yeah, they're like,
eh,
okay.
this is
Dude, I would have
happening.
been like, get the fuck out of here, dude. He's fucking gonna kill us. It's like I would have run out of that auditorium.
I
Like,
mean,
bro.
we established this thing could like ruin your brain, and they
Yeah.
jokes. They play up for jokes, like, all right, you guys are
Oh
gonna have
yeah.
family lives.
Yeah, I
Like,
forgot the family. The Rock destroyed a family at one point in this movie.
yeah, no, this movie's so forgettable. You forget little plot points like that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point in the movie. I can't remember where it was, but it's like he's like, oh, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna.
Yeah. Tracy's.
Yeah, I guess Julie Andrews is periodically in this film. She was like, I don't want to be in this thing the whole time. Let me sit in a chair. Let me sit in
Yeah.
a chair.
Yeah,
Be a
just let me
queen,
be
you know.
cool.
I mean, she's basically like, oh, so you want me to be the princess bride? Okay, all right. There you go.
Yeah, that's I'm just gonna remind the character what he's doing wrong, and then I'm out, and then I'll be back
And
30
it felt
minutes
like I was watching a buddy cop movie where like she's the fucking
the Met Lieutenant. He's like,
yeah,
ah!
like it kept feeling like that because every time I just kept visioning him as like fucking Hobbs and she's like
Oh
fucking
yeah, you fucking
no,
go.
getting fucking Bismo. You can't do it that way, all
Yeah.
right? Don't do it that way. You
It
can't
was
do it that
and one scene it was also weird how I found this scene a little bit funny where with like the ghost bit that he went to a house and they thought a ghost went to their house.
way.
That
Okay,
was kind
to
of
be
funny.
fair, that was actually funny because I was
What
like,
the fuck? I love how the ending of that scene was like, just go through the light, buddy, because the Rock was like, where am I? So just go to the light, just go to the light. I was like, all right, that's kind of funny. That's cool. That's kind of funny. But it was weird how he went back to the Tooth Fairy world with their dog stuck to their wings. I was like, so their
I mean,
dog is able to travel.
so I
Okay.
guess maybe they establish animals could go. I don't know.
I guess they could travel like with him. It's like okay.
Consistency in this movie is like zero.
No,
There's
no,
no consistency in this movie at
no.
all.
There's no consistency, just like in Fast Furious movies, just like
Yeah,
that.
but yeah, those at least they try with those movies.
A little bit, yeah. There's no consistency.
This movie doesn't make any sense because the first act is comedy. The second
Right.
act is spy movie with
You know,
comedy and drama.
yeah, it
And the
gets
third act is like this weird we're gonna be thespian actors and serious and
it's a
oh no,
Disney.
the humanity. It turns into a straight up like not as well written Disney movie.
Nah.
Just not. I mean, it makes the game plan look like freaking Citizen Kane at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Because the third act, it's just very generic. Like, oh, I'm mad and I learned I learned from my mistakes. I overreacted and I gotta fix everything now. And he reveals himself to everybody. It's like, hey, actually, Judd, I'm a fucking Tooth Fairy. What's up?
Yeah, that is a weird scene because like okay, he gets caught by the little girl.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm the Tooth Fairy. And then like I guess we're implying that his girlfriend is so dumb that she thinks it's an outfit.
Yeah, as a costume, right? Like, oh.
Yes, I don't know.
Which, by the way, she didn't overreact to the idea that did he just break into my house? 'Cause-
That's the part where I was like, wait. So like we're just not gonna question how your boyfriend who doesn't have the key anymore. Let's just
no,
establish that they never really say it out loud, but it's heavily
that's true.
implied that's what happened. Like, oh, get the fuck out of here. I hate
Yeah,
you. Yada yada.
like we're done. Like, how
It's
did you
just
get to my house? It's like you
yeah,
broke into
yeah,
my
yeah,
house.
yeah.
and
But
see my
no,
daughter? Like, go fuck yourself. You're like, I'm gonna call the police right now. Like, what are you doing?
the movie suddenly turns into 50 Shades of Grey because it's like, ooh, it's the Rock. Oh,
Oh yeah.
so sweet.
By the way,
Oh,
was there a sexual innuendo at that one part where the Rock was growing his wings in the date that he was having, and he was like, "Oh, don't look at me. I'm getting bigger. I mean, sorry, I'm getting something." And she was
yes.
like, her face was like,
Oh,
"Oh."
heavily there was a sexual innuendo in that whole scene.
She was like,
Mind
"Oh
you,
shit."
The Rock is trying to like mac on this chick the whole time. Like he's
Yeah.
established, you are attractive. I want you. And the movie
Exactly.
doesn't hide it. The movie doesn't hide it. It's like, oh no, he totally is down to smash. Like
Oh yeah.
he's like, oh, I'm gonna feed you food. Oh, I'm gonna have a romantic. At least I'll give this Derek this. He's not just like trying to like hit it and quit it. He's like, he's clearly got feelings for this chick, and like he's
For
trying
sure.
to like get intimate with her. He's not
Yeah.
too much of a dick. He's like, oh, let's be romantic. I like we'll feed you strawberries and shit. In the moment, I want to make waffles.
I'll bring flowers the next day when I fucked up, and she's into it.
Okay.
It's like,
At least that's what I got out of it. I guess the movie's implying he's faking it. I don't know because
I
the
don't
Rock
know.
good charm to him. I believe him. That's
Yeah. I
that's
found it weird. Like, getting bigger. Is that a penis joke? Is that what it just
oh
heard?
totally absolutely.
I was like, okay. That's what happened in this.
I mean that was totally out of place, but it didn't make any sense.
No, it was weird. Like, this movie's G rated, right? Or is it PG? I think it's
Oh,
PG.
PG. No, 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 no. Oh God, they would never get away with a G
Yeah,
rating.
we're not gonna win it.
The Muppets original 1970s movie like has a bunch of innuendos, and that's G on Disney Plus. You can watch that thing uncensored. It's
Oh,
still there.
yeah, the love, the magic of G ratings in the '70s, man. You got away with a lot of stuff. Yes,
I mean,
love
there's
it.
a lot of Disney movies back in the day that, like, ironically, got away with so much.
Oh yeah,
Like,
like Jaws is G rated. Let's not forget
oh no,
that.
Jaws is PG. Oh no, no, no,
Oh,
not
it's
no.
PG now.
Oh God, they
Okay.
would never get away with that. Was it
Okay.
really?
I think it
God,
was G at one point because they were like, I think PG didn't exist. Yeah, I don't think so. Like it's G or R. So I guess it's G. It's for general audiences. Well, there's just blood everywhere in the movie. But no, yeah, the third act is it's
yeah.
just
Yeah, dude, let's get done with this
it's
because,
the
like,
same shit. It's
you
you've
know,
seen it already 100.
oh, we got to establish that, he's got to do the one last thing. And okay, he finishes this task. He does the last one to
Oh yeah.
get the thing together. Oh, you got to go home. You won't remember
You
us.
over everything. Although that one plot point, it's like it's obviously it's very ham-fisted, but it's like what? Those kind of plot lines always kind of work. The idea that you will never remember what you
They're
experienced, the people you
cheating,
met.
though. They're cheating, though. They're just using a
Yeah,
trope. That's all
yeah,
they're doing.
it's very it's very cheap. But I
I
was like,
caught myself getting a little like, I didn't cry or nothing, but I was like, the
yeah,
fuck? This is kind of sweet, actually. What the
yeah.
fuck?
Because I was like, oh, poor Tracy and Derek, they're not gonna be friends anymore. It's like, and the whole point
That
was
was
like, let's email each other. It's like,
that
oh,
was a cute little section, actually. I was like, okay, that was clearly improvised, but that was like when they're like
yeah. I
each
was
other.
like, got me. It's like, you got me. God damn it, this fucking
God damn it.
movie. It's like,
And
cheap.
then we get to the scene that ends the movie of Derek is at the talent show, and all the plot is done, and yay, Derek performs, or not Derek performs. Gosh, you would think that was what's gonna happen.
I thought it was
Okay,
gonna perform.
you've seen Uncut Gems, right?
Yes.
I got the weirdest Uncut Gems vibes from him like walking in there. I was like, damn, where's Adam Sandler? Is he gonna pop out? I swear to God, I was like, what? Were the Safari brothers watching fucking Tooth Fairy? Because it feels like the exact same thing in this scene. Besides
Dude,
that, God, it was so weird. I was like, I can't help but think Uncut Gems.
I thought he was gonna go because I saw the drums in the back. I was like, are they gonna make The Rock play the drums on
I thought
stage right
that too.
now?
I thought that too. I did. I
It
thought.
was weird how the kids came on there was like, let's just go play with him. Like, what?
Yeah, they don't establish that Randy has any friends or anything. So
No,
that
they're just like, let's just go play. I'm like, is that allowed? The kids, the teacher would be like, no, that's Randy's turn. Don't fuck around. Like, leave Randy play alone. You guys had your moment to shine together, but it's
oh,
like the
mm.
ending is so. Anytime you end a
Uh,
movie with
and then
a
I,
downfall,
I I caught myself going like, okay. I mean, I guess it's kind of sweet that the Rock is like, oh, I'm not afraid of commitment anymore. Let's
or
go.
it's
Uh, it's so cheesy and terrible, and it's like, okay.
yeah. And I also love how the daughter didn't give a fuck about them getting married. It's like, I guess they're getting married. Oh,
I
okay,
mean,
cool.
you would think they were already watching a Fast and the Furious movie with how much the ending is corn honing. Like they're
Yeah,
like, okay, family,
we're the
family,
family. I
family,
love you.
and the movie's over. Oh,
Yeah.
didn't
Oh, or is
didn't
it?
you love it?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I skipped that shit. The minute I saw Billy Crystal, I shut that shit off.
You
I'm like,
skipped it. Oh, you missed the best part of the movie.
oh
You
really?
missed it.
Was it good? Was it actually
Oh,
good? Well, I'll
well,
genuinely sit down and actually turn it back on after this. We're done.
because apparently, Julie Andrews just was so attached to him that she fits his games. Because Derek's not with the Sharks or whatever the hell team he was playing. He's now with the L.A. Raiders or Kings or whatever the fuck. I guess they're a real
Which is
team.
apparently, from what I understand, yeah, that is the real team, like the LA
Yeah,
whatever. Or that was
yeah,
the actual used in this film.
yeah. Like he stepped up apparently, and the thing is, like Julie Andrews is like just watching him, like just watching the games because she misses him, and Billy Crystal's there, and then out of nowhere, because I mean, Julie Andrews is one scene that's where I kind of liked her because she kind of got out of her own character. She's just like wearing a jacket and hat, and just getting into the game, getting excited. But then Billy Crystal's like, you know what? Let me use the shrink paste and let me get on top of the puck and let that guy hit the puck while I'm on top of it and looking very terribly on top of the puck and will freeze frame on me on the puck. And that's the end of that post mid credit scene. Billy Crystal's like, I'm Billy Crystal, and he's on top of the puck. And
I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm sure I made the right decision.
it didn't add anything. It's just like, oh, this is what Derek's doing. His family, don't worry about it. He's an LA King member now. That's it. And Billy
This,
Crystal's there again. Oh,
that was the
because Billy Crystal interacted with him. He's like, "Oh, you're a good player. It's good to see you again." Rock's like, "I think I know who you are, but I'm not sure. Well, we'll just move on." And that's it. And that's the whole part. That's the whole meaningful part of it. But yeah, it's stupid. It's a shitty way to end the movie. It's fucking sucks balls.
God. So I
Hate
take it
the
you're gonna give this movie a 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah, I love this movie. I mean, it was an hour and what 46 minutes. It felt like 3 hours. It was coughing the whole time. I couldn't
That's
stand it.
interesting that you say that, man. Because like I'm sitting there watching the movie and I know it's bad. I'm like, oh shit, I'm 30 minutes into the movie. It's so weird. Like the movie's pacing is oddly, like weirdly, like fast. I mean, it's not good. I'm not gonna say it's good. Weird that you had the experience of it feeling long. For me, I was like, oh, this feels quick. It's like, okay,
Felt
we're gonna rip the band-aid off, you know.
dude, I feel so long because I was like, all right, it's an hour. We're an hour in, and we're already starting all these big conflicts. I'm like, we still have 40 more minutes of this fucking movie. I don't. And it's like 10 minutes in, we're already in the Tooth Fairy world. I'm like, bro, we're already in this so quickly. I mean, there's an hour 30 minutes left. I'm like, I don't. No. So
Care.
man, it felt longer than Ben Hur, bro. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's so long. I couldn't stand this movie. I could not. I couldn't sit through it in
And
one
mind
sitting.
you, you're watching this for the ads, right? That's how I watched it.
Oh no, I saw it without the ads. I kept pausing. I was like, don't. I can't. I'll go sort through something else for a while. Then I come back. It was so painful to watch. I mean, The Rock, man, he kind of almost made it work for me, but he was just so bad. I was just like, wow, this character is terrible. His character
Yeah.
is despicable to me. He's a piece of shit. I don't like him. Everybody else is weird, kind of wacky, kind of uncomfortable. Like Tracy's kind of weird. Billy Crystal, you're kind of get away from me. I don't know. These people are just strange, man. I don't know. I love this movie, man. I love this movie. What about you, Andy? Do you love this movie just like I did?
Uh, no, no, I didn't like this movie at all. I'm trying to pull myself together to say how I feel, but I mean it's pretty easy. I've said it throughout the whole review.
It, it,
Okay, this movie is disappointing because you would
you were
expect better
expecting
from The
something.
Rock.
You were
Yeah,
expecting something.
I, I don't know what I was expecting because if this was like by Disney and maybe like they gave a shit, like everybody was talking shit about the Santa Claus before that came out, and I know Tim Allen's in a weird area now, so
Yeah.
we're not allowed to like that movie anymore.
But the movie's fine.
Fine. Here's the weird thing about this film: if they had a better director and better writing and better effects and better everything, you could see a semblance of a movie that could have been good.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, there's nothing good about this movie.
No,
Oh,
there's nothing.
this movie is agonizing pain. It is like slowly ripping off a band-aid after you just got injured. And then they said, all right, we're going to put a needle in there. And instead of pain medication, they're just pumping water into and
Yeah.
it continues throughout the whole process. I mean, you shouldn't even willingly watch this movie because just watch something better.
No, man.
At this point, watch the new season of Family Guy. At least there's jokes that are somewhat.
Right? Seth MacFarlane does something better in that show than anything he did in this fucking movie.
I mean,
Right?
I'd rather watch Ted 2 than watch this movie ever again.
Oh yeah. I'd rather watch Billy Crystal in Monsters University. I'd rather watch that than this.
Really, I thought that movie was good, but I know
Yeah,
everybody has weird opinions about that movie. I
yeah,
know it's like
it's the middle for
some
me. It's in the middle.
some people love that movie more. Like I remember hearing reviews and people were like, "Oh, I love this movie more because I can relate to it." And I'm like, "Really? That's interesting. I relate more to Monsters Inc. because I relate to the work aspect." But okay,
Yes,
that, that's
but
weird.
it's just man. Even The Rock, I rather watch fuck Scorpion King maybe than this shit.
You want to watch that CGI face going?
Hell yeah, that PS2 graphics. Can't wait to see that. Better graphics, better
I
effects than this movie. I'll tell
This
you
movie's so bad. If you found it at Dollar Tree, I wouldn't even say waste your dollar.
that. No.
That's how bad it
Hey, I rather would fucking do a root canal or get a dentist appointment than fucking see the tooth fairy, man.
is. See, I knew you were gonna say something like that.
Zing! Got it.
And
I hate this
yeah,
movie. Hate this movie.
the fact that there's like puns in this movie and the actors are just rattling
Yeah.
them off. I mean, this makes Hobbs and Shaw look actually good.
Oh god, the tooth puns, man, love it. There's only
Uh,
been segment more for me, but I yeah. The only interesting part is like, oh, Blumhouse to produce it. That's it.
I
If I'm
forgot
falling.
he's. I forgot. Yeah, it looks like he didn't put a lot of money forward because his little old name is last in there.
He's put money in a movie. That's not Jason Blum. That's not it. Can't be
Oh, you mean Get Out?
him. He put movie into a feature
Really?
film.
Kicking and Screaming was the first movie he produced? Wow, that's interesting. That's a weird
Oh,
correlation.
Yeah, wow, I barely remember that movie. That's an
Yeah, I,
odd movie.
I mean, I refuse to watch that movie because mainly I found out that Mike Dicka's just a piece of shit. So
Mm,
I just found out he's not a good guy.
okay,
It's like,
I haven't seen it since it came out.
and that means something to me because he was like, the Bears and shit. I was like, oh, okay. Back then I was like, oh yeah, he used to be the coach of the Bears. We like Mike Ditka, right?
No.
Oh, Kaepernick, he needs to get out of my country. And I'm like, oh, shut up, dude.
Fucking people ruin everything for everybody.
See,
Fucking.
you know this movie's so bad, we're not even talking about
No. What's your rating score system for your show? I have an idea
I
of what I
I
would.
don't personally have one. I'm thinking of one. So we'll just give this a 1 out of 10 because that's what this movie is to me. I mean, you want me to make up my own rating on the spot? Like
Yes.
I said before, this movie is so bad. If you saw it in the Dollar Tree bin, don't even buy it.
Uh, I yeah. I don't even download the movie. That's not
Yeah,
even.
I mean,
It's
if
not
you
even.
see this on a computer and like it's just ready there to play, no questions asked, and your FBI agent has loaded it for you, don't even like risk it, man.
or if you see, or if you see it, just put on a laptop, just someone's laptop. Just shut their laptop down. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where in the movie it is. Just shut it down.
Or just watch a better movie with The Rock. I
Yes,
mean,
make him a favor.
the game support the game plan, man. That's a better movie than
Yeah,
this.
watch Game
Crap.
Plan or watch that movie he did with Sean William Scott. Go watch that movie. That's way better than this
Oh,
shit.
that's a way better. Oh my god, that's a great movie. What the hell
Yeah,
is that?
exactly. I'll watch that shit and this shit.
Reminding me that Sean William Scott was actually an actor that people were looking out for back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Or what's that other movie The Rock did? That was with John Bernthal.
John Bernthal.
It was he was like an inmate or something. He
I
was
think it's
trafficking
Southland
drugs.
Tales. Is that the one? Yeah, Southland Tales was the one he did with
Was that one? Or
Sean
no?
William Scott. Now the John Berthel. Oh, Justin Timberlake was in that movie. What? Wow, I gotta watch that movie again. I do not remember that.
The Rock, where he was like trafficking drugs for his son or something. His son got in prison. He was like, "Oh, I'll finish this job because I wanted to be free." I forgot the name. I think it was Sting or something. Sting or whatever.
Sting. What the?
I
Wow.
don't remember. That's when he was like big and bald. I was like, "Oh shit, this is a big rock. This is a bigger rock than we ever seen before."
The Rundown. Was that it?
Oh, the rundown was with Sean Scott. Yeah, but I forgot. I forgot. If you guys know the name, just write it down in the comments, I guess. But
Yeah.
I yeah, dude. By the way, the Rock's hairline. What the fuck, man? I'm glad he shaved that shit because that Oscar proud hairline, bro. What the fuck?
I'm
Fuck.
just so glad that he decided he was like, you know what, hairline, snip it.
Yeah, snip
He
it.
decided
Like
to do that.
no hair, and it looks so much better. I'm like, I'm glad whoever came up with that idea, it was himself or whoever. I'm
It's pretty
glad.
easy to know, like, after he got into the Fast universe, he was like, yeah, no, I'm going bald now.
Yeah, I'm bald. I'm getting like super roided and huge and shit. I'm like, God damn. All right, cool. So yeah, I guess for my system, everybody's already my score will be your exact same score. It's just an 1 out of 10. The only I'll give it just a one because it made me chuckle here and there. And there's like some moments I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not completely distracted, but this movie sucks ass. This movie sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
This movie's terrible.
I'm shocked to read reviews on IMDb of people actually liking this movie. I'm like, oh, really? I mean, as a kids movie, I mean, honestly, there's much better kids films to watch out
Oh
there.
yeah, anything is better
I mean,
than
just
this.
put on Paddington for your fucking kids. Don't put on this shit.
Oh yeah, Paddington, or hell, maybe Pacifier's better than this movie. Who knows?
Oh, well, maybe we'll talk about that next week. Yeah, Fast 9's around the corner. Oh, it's coming to Disney Plus.
Please make it better.
Ah,
Please make it better than this movie. Please. I,
well,
I hope he got the shit out of the way and we get something better. That's all I hope for.
I'm curious whether or not they're gonna. I swear to God, it's in my brain. Like the kid's like wearing a Nazi thing or something. I swear to God, it was in there.
Shit.
Just
I don't
stick up.
know. It has to be better. I mean, because, like, hey, Tooth Fairy didn't work. Did Tooth Fairy 2 work out? Remember that?
Oh, with Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna. Yeah, Seb, I'll take your word for it. You go watch that movie. I'm not.
I was making sure.
I'm not gonna. I'm not doing this on this channel. I'm not doing
I
that.
thought you sacrifice. You know, I thought you do. You pulled it in for us.
Oh,
Oh,
you want me to watch the Tooth Fairy too, huh? You want me to look? It's not even
yeah.
on anywhere.
I won't watch it, but I'll
Ooh,
definitely watch the
okay.
pacifier. Whoa,
I
can't wait.
watched the pacifier. Hell yeah, dude. Ray Romano's like brothers in that movie. I don't remember his fucking
Oh, he's in
name.
the movie.
Sorry.
It's a lot better now. The Jimmy Johnson guy.
Actually, is that his name? Is it Jimmy Johnson?
No,
Ji-
no, no. Have you not seen the Jimmy John's commercials? Where he's in
Oh
there?
yeah, yeah. I forgot he was getting that role lately. Yeah. That guy. Yeah.
Jimmy John's. It's funny. Some funny shit.
Oh man. Yeah, I keep forgetting that guy like just randomly, sporadically gets like commercial roles still. It's like, oh fuck Jimmy John's,
Yeah.
motherfucker. Basically he's playing a mob boss, but they don't say it out
Yeah.
loud, of course.
Oh no, don't say that out loud. But it's very, very clear that he's the mob boss.
So
To a
yeah.
point, he kills somebody for trying a Jimmy John sandwich.
So yeah, I guess next week I'll force you into watching The Pacifier, and
If it's better than this, I'll be glad to do this. I'll be glad to join in for that. It can't.
well,
It's got to be uphill after this. Come on, it's got to
I
be uphill.
remember like for some reason in The Pacifier they were like shoehorning the movie Ghost into it. It was weird. I don't know. Yeah, it was weird. I
Okay.
didn't get it.
All right, that sounds more interesting than this movie. Sounds way interesting than this movie. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to come back and then
Well,
other
yeah, we
movie.
just talked about the Tooth Fairy. I'm not even gonna watch the movie again to make sure we even talked about it correctly. I don't even.
Uh,
I don't.
yeah, we'll take your word on it if we miss something. We'll
Yeah,
just
yeah. It was
pretend.
cool when Brago showed up and shot the rock, and like
Yeah.
Tyrese was there and was like, "That's yes, toothpaste."
And then Stewie showed up out of nowhere. Stewie, what is he doing here? Like, what?
Even if they incorporated Family Guy characters in this, that would have made more sense than this shit.
Oh, would have been much, much
What?
better.
Yeah.
But Stewie's here. Oh, Peter Griffin's here. It's funny. God, Seth MacFarlane.
All right. Now that we have been through agonizing pain, Seb, is there anywhere that the people can find you? Like, can they find you anywhere in this world? Is there?
Yes. If you would like to find me, just like the Tooth Fairy, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Sebastian_Productions 01. And you can go ahead and check my channel on YouTube, Hablando Shet, SHET. Just write it down there, and you'll find me. And you'll find this kid right here. Well, we're gonna continue reviewing the Fast franchise. Can't wait for this week, Andy. Can't wait for this
Oh
week.
yeah, Hobbs and Shaw. I'm not saying how I feel about the movie.
So just check out the channel, subscribe, all that stuff. Also
Yeah.
subscribe to this channel because this is good
Oh
stuff.
yes, just like the video. Like it more than I hope you liked the Tooth Fairy. Just like this
Oh,
video. And
is it
don't
gonna
even.
come on? Come on, you got to like this video. But this is much better than the movie. Come on, you can't
Yeah, I
dispute.
mean, we're look, God, we care about you so much, the viewer at home. We are running under the runtime of the Tooth Fairy. Look at
Yes,
how nice we are.
yes.
So segues. We're getting the hell out of here, right?
Yes, sir.
All
We're
right.
out.
We will see y'all next week when we watch Wild the Pacifier. That's gonna be
That's gonna be fun.
woof. Yeah. See y'all next week for the next one. That's all, folks.
Bye.